Hey there everyone, this is Cass with SCNS Live. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to check out the video version of this, you can check it out on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all at SCNS Live. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of SCNS Live. Thank you guys out there in the super cool nation for joining us for another week of this weird show that we do. Thank you all for putting up with us last week when we just didn't show up for work. We just didn't. Mainly because we went out and saw Captain Marvel, which we're going to get into that just a little bit. Anyway, so thank you guys for joining us. Tonight we are talking about cosplay and cosplanning and what we're planning to do and if we're going to get it done. And I hate doing this show because it kind of makes me have to do things now. So it's like, I put my word on it. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I'm Jason the X. This guy over here, this lady over here, I don't know why I said guy.
I mean, dude, guy is fine. Like, I'm still Cat.
It's Cat.
Yeah. Hooray.
This is her whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And person on their phone, I mean, if it rings, you're dead.
Oh, no.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's Cass.
Is put your word on it a phrase?
Put my word on it, yeah.
Put my word
Yeah,
on it?
put my
That's
word
a
on
thing?
it.
Follow-up question, is it worth anything? It was a question.
Burn.
Thank you, Cass, for also questioning my slang, anyway.
You're welcome.
And in the
In the blue
outfit
corner.
in the blue, wearing red trunks and lined with gold.
Weighing in at some...
He weighs in at 45
130.
pounds. 50
I was
pounds.
going to say 65.
Punch me.
Do it. No.
Come on.
Nice.
Yeah,
Come on.
I don't have leverage.
He was over there tenderizing the beef I'm using for jerky later on.
Disgusting.
Too many words that I just didn't like in that sentence.
Tenderizing the
That's a
jerky.
good phrase.
Tenderizing
It's a good phrase.
And behind the board, making everything look pretty and sound right. And she got herself a haircut. It's Cora.
It's
Look at
so
how
cute.
freeing it is. Look at her. Like,
I know, it makes me want to cut all my hair off.
Now, Bryce. Would you... I can't do it.
why don't you move your mic over closer instead of like leaning all the way over there? There you go.
It's conspiratorial whispering.
No, it's swinging away.
We're trying an ASMR video.
Would you say...
What is it? What is it?
that you were beating the meat?
I liked tenderizing my jerky. I thought that's a nice twist on the phrase.
Goodbye, $7 from YouTube.
I've been known to tenderize the jerky. It happens from time to time.
It sounds worse when you say it.
It does.
So
Maybe
just
it's your matter-of-fact voice.
off the rails already. Okay.
It's almost a record.
It wouldn't be an SCNS live show if we didn't go just completely off the rails.
It's true.
Within 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Yo, it's time to tenderize.
You gotta open
Yo.
only one side of your mouth.
Tender it.
Maybe I'll find Paulo, maybe I won't, you know.
Mick.
Not bad.
Hey, Mick. Cut me. Cut me, Mick.
Hey, Rocky's has some good speech. Okay.
I can't believe he wrote all those words down because he can't say any of them.
I think he's gotten good at acting, though. Did you see Creed?
Yeah, Creed's
Creed
right.
was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't tell the difference between his
I don't like-
surprised and stunned by a punch to the face look.
I
Like,
feel like those are the same things, yes?
I mean, getting punched in the face is just, it's a,
so you're saying
Different
you would
experience every
take
time.
acting lessons from him? Like that's
Maybe not.
I mean, just get hit so you'll know what it feels like.
I have a good. I did.
Like, knocked out.
I broke my nose. Yeah. Blacked out.
I don't like Creed or Nickelback.
youth group was a rough place for Cass.
You know what? Shut up. That is where it happened.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to move on to some super cool nerd news. Oh, so many things I want to talk about in the news this week, I swear. First of all, who the hell keeps letting R. Kelly out of jail? Anyway, but
Go ahead, talk about that. We'll sit here in awkward silence.
No. But we did get some good news. Coming to Disney Plus, they are doing a What If series. Now, for those of you out there who don't know what it is, back in the day, Marvel launched a comic series with Uatu the Watcher. Is it Uatu? Uatu, yeah. Well, basically, he would narrate events like, what if, the Hulk killed Wolverine, or Wolverine killed the Hulk, or Cyclops ate a tuna sandwich instead of an egg salad sandwich this day. Either way, questions abound. What if Spider-Man had joined, like the first issue was, what if Spider-Man had joined the Fantastic Four? Which was great. They were the Fantastic Five. They were called the Fantastic Five. And Peter Parker's point
I feel like they could have kicked somebody else out.
They were 18% less lame.
They kick out Robbie the Robot.
Would be
Or
20.
Herbie the Robot. There you go. They totally could have taken
Herbie was
taken
the love
him in.
bug.
Or like, what if Cap had stayed frozen? Or, had Wolverine not participated in the Weapon X program? Anyway, these stories were great because all of those little questions that comic readers would have, they would typically answer them. And sometimes they would take suggestions from other people. Well, that series is coming to Disney Plus. And I am so stoked because we're already at that level in the Marvel Cinematic Universe of what if this had happened? What if these shows hadn't gone to Netflix and gone to Disney Plus instead? That's a slight jab at Netflix. But get ready for all of these burning questions to be answered. Like, what if Edward Norton had stayed at the Hulk?
What if they'd given Hawkeye the screen time he deserved?
Oh!
Here comes Debbie Downer.
What if Hawkeye had died in the first
Hey! The movie franchise would have exploded and it would have
Every
been
now and then
sad.
somebody went, remember that guy that shot the arrows? Remember?
Then we would have the answer to a different question. What if people knew who Quicksilver was?
There's a good one. What if Quicksilver hadn't died? There you go. He'd probably just still be an Avenger.
Figured
or
I'd be a
something. I don't know.
downer with
I don't
everyone
think
else.
anything would have changed. What does Quicksilver actually do?
He was Hawkeye's shield.
I'm
Where's the ball?
What if Professor X had worn a toupee?
Oh, come on!
Oh, it's stuck.
Yeah, it's like, not even like, why am I telling her how to load the gun? Anyway,
Yeah, if you want to shoot
we
me
don't
with
have
that
any
Nerf
details
gun.
on the series, but I'm hoping that they do it with different directors, different writers. Let's get some different perspectives in there. It's a perfect opportunity to
Marvel's not great on
just
that.
one-shot deals, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they can get better. This
Okay.
is what I want. So,
Yeah.
little one-shot, maybe one-part, two-part stories. If you need 2 hours to take a story, tell a
I feel
story.
like What If is the entire DC universe at this point.
I mean, technically they
We've-
both are.
And we've already been introduced to the Watchers, so we know they're out there.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's a perfect series. I like it. Please don't suck. And now that we're getting the X-Men and all the Namor, all those people into, I think it'd be perfect. Tell these stories. So yeah, they've even created characters from What If stories though, like Mayday Parker, who was the daughter of Spider-Man and Mary Jane. She actually carried her own series for a while. And it was like basically, what if Spider-Man had a daughter? And she's like, I'm Spider-Woman. And she was great.
Spider Woman.
Spider Girl.
No, she was
Although
very...
he was Spider
She
Man.
was very adamant in the comics about being...
Don't
well, I
call
think she was
her
she was
Spider-Girl.
Yeah, she was Spider. She was still a teenager when she got...
I'm Superboy!
He
So
was
anyway.
a teenager when he started being Spider Man.
Yeah, but, Woodman...
Which is why he didn't have a great career as a photographer.
That's true.
He needed credibility. No one's going to like Spider-Boy. Spider-Boy, get the hell out of here.
I don't like Spider Man.
Spider-Boy sounds like a condition you can get from not eating enough vegetables.
That sounds like the old 50s Bat Boy is born in Tennessee, like that kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, sir. I said you have
yeah,
Spider-Boy.
the Inquirer.
Yeah.
I remember when you used to see those magazine covers. It's like the devil's face seen over Gotham or whatever.
Already with that, that's enough for me to get a DC Plus, or Disney Plus subscription over a DC Universe.
You know what? Titans is okay.
That's a great defense, Cass.
Look at how after she says it, she has to just look off but is it really?
It's not bad.
I like that Marvel is exploring this. DC takes their what if ideas and they just run with them, and then they have to retcon them or whatever. It'd be interesting to see Marvel take a more thoughtful approach to not just throwing it out there and being like, this is also canon. It contradicts the other thing, but it doesn't matter.
So,
Yeah, that's going to be a great show because I read a lot of those What If comics growing up, and I thought it was great. You could really basically, like you said, invent a character. You can kill off a character anytime you want. It's an Elseworlds. It's a What If. So it's a great scenario for storytelling because it's not canon for any of the other MCU.
I think that was some of the appeal of it for me as a comic reader because I didn't have to pick up every issue of What If.
No, you didn't.
If it was, I don't care if so and so led the Avengers. Throw that away. I don't care about that. I didn't have to pick it up. There was no obligation to get it.
Yeah.
So pick and choose your adventures.
Yeah, you can really have some good tragedies in those stories.
I personally, I'm throwing this out there. The first one you start off with, let's go ahead and do the Gwen, Spider-Gwen.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just do that one right off the bat. What if Gwen Stacy had been bitten instead of Peter Parker? Just do that story, and then we could just casually bring her into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Then we wouldn't have had Spider-Man.
University stuff, and she's in there. Look at that. That's how they did it in the comics, and that worked. It also worked with Miles. We can bring all these. Oh God, they could just do Ultimates.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah. What if the Hulk had the brain of Bruce Banner, I should say?
I want the Hulk talking.
And he was a French Renaissance painter.
Is this how we get Mr. Fix-It?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because that's what I want. I want to see the Hulk in a pinstripe suit.
Yeah.
And talking like a thug.
You probably will.
I didn't know I wanted that until she said that. I want the Hulk in the pinstripe suit and the fedora.
Yeah.
As a mob enforcer.
That is still
That's
one of the
just
greatest
Kingpin.
comic things I've ever found.
Oh yeah, that was a great run. So it's a perfect opportunity to tell those stories.
Well, one of my favorite stories I remember reading as well from that
slightly
series was what if Uncle Ben hadn't died? So Spider-Man Peter Parker did not become who we know him to be.
Would he not be... You don't think he would be Spider-Man?
I'm just telling you what I read.
He wouldn't have been such a bummer.
Well, if his entire crusade wasn't based on guilt, then yeah, I think that would be a really much more interesting Spider-Man.
He would be Cap. Like,
yeah.
MCU Cap. No.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, Kat, what you got this week?
That's not a good segue.
Oh, you said
No.
Kat.
So, this week, what did I have?
Something about...
So, guys,
Magic the Gathering is making a real effort to make it not such a boys' club. Last year, the first woman ever to win one of the Grand Prix. I don't know a lot about Magic, spoilers. But the Grand Prix is their big tournament, and the first woman ever won it, 23-year-old Jess Estefan. And she was not happy when she won, based on the reactions that she got from some toxic dudes who are the minority. But what's exciting to me about this is Magic the Gathering is reaching out and trying to involve more women in their entire process. Magic the Gathering, of course, is made by Wizards of the Coast, which makes D&D. So they're actually making positive effort to include women in their hiring, in their character development, in their presumably class development. They had they're trying to become an esports thing.
Oh.
But they had a tournament with the 32 top players of Magic the Gathering, and they were all men. And they said that they wanted to include women, but to get seeded ranks, they would have had to go down to like the 200th, because women don't traditionally tend to compete in competitive Magic the Gathering because of the small minority of the community. So now their focus is not on like including enough people so that women can get in. It's making sure it's a welcome environment for everybody, so that women who win at roughly the same rates as men in competitive tournaments of this type, that there's no surprise there. That's all.
Admittedly, the most I've done with Magic is turn over a table that was full of cards. It was very satisfying.
I would compete in that.
I told one of my friends I would rather be lit on fire than to learn Magic the Gathering.
Had your friends been lit on fire? Because if so, that's very insensitive.
No, but it was a group full of, well, it was a table full of, it had my friend and then all of his toxic friends. And he was like, hey, do you want to learn magic? And absolutely not, but thank you.
You should be careful with flames around toxicity.
That's fair.
The likelihood for combustion is
How we
higher.
get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? I don't know how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles happened.
It was an interesting discussion in our carpool on the way over here.
Matt Murdock, as a small child, was taking his pet turtles across the street and stopped a blind man from getting hit by a truck. He got blinded, and then the turtles also got the chemical on them, but they fell into the sewer. I like to link their origins together.
I mean,
Marvel,
But you
there's your
see,
newest What If.
the Ninja Turtles are in the DC universe now because we have DC.
Okay, look,
Batman
I am
versus-
so ready for that, all right?
Not me.
Like that-
What is wrong with Troy Baker's voice? Troy Baker's a good actor, and Batman is very. He sounds like Superman. Every line is like epic, and yes, I'm going to save the day. Batman doesn't sound like that.
There's a whole lot of ninja stuff going on, and I'm very
What if
happy
Batman
about it.
sounded like Superman?
What if?
What if Superman was Batman?
What if?
No, I think they're consciously trying to get away from the Christopher Nolan's depiction of him, which wasn't all bad. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people do, but because of that, they're going too expressive. I don't think anything's wrong with anything about Troy Baker, but it is a little emphatic for Batman.
Well, Cass, what do you got this week for us?
A little bit of a bummer, Jason.
Oh, no.
So, trailer came out recently for a movie called Charlie Says. This is about the Charles Manson murders, and Matt Smith, who's one of the most charismatic actors I've ever seen,
God.
is playing Charles Manson. This is the second movie that's coming out in 2019 that romanticizes a serial killer. The other one being Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile, which is Zac Efron's depiction of Ted Bundy. This is kind of disturbing to me. Both of these are kind of separating the acts from the person in a lot of ways, and you can't separate these two things. They did these horrible, horrible things, and that was very much a part of who they were. And granted, this is just a trailer, but the way they portray Charles Manson is very charismatic, very, like, almost this, like, wonderful person, and it takes place after the fact, and it's when the women are in jail on death row with flashbacks to the kind of cult. It's really disturbing to me. I don't know how to feel about these movies.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Like, and I haven't seen either movie. Neither of them have come out. These are just trailers, but if the trailers depict the movie accurately, I feel like that's not a good idea.
Luckily, that's not a thing happening with trailers right now.
Trailers depicting movies accurately? That's true.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not that you can't separate them, but you shouldn't. Like, why?
Yeah.
What's the good? What's the best possible outcome?
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, that's entertainment that will not be viewed in my home.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. As much as I enjoy horror films, that's true to life, and I don't want true to life depictions or tragedies explained to me
If these were-
from a monster, a real monster.
Yeah. If these were horror movies, I would absolutely be behind them. They're biopics.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
If I want a biopic, I want to go for a happy-go-lucky story. I really don't want.
Or at least like a person you look up to.
And see, as someone who, I find serial killers very fascinating, so I like to research them, and I'll watch like the A&E specials and their Dateline specials that they have about them because they're usually very factual. I will admit, like, certain ones were very charismatic. Like, Charles Manson did have a level of charisma in order to, like, be able to control these people.
Ted Bundy,
Ed
Kemper.
Yeah, because Ted Bundy was not actually. Ted Bundy was just a really good liar. He wasn't even really that charismatic from his depictions
for his time.
For his
considered
time,
him very handsome. So
Yeah.
that helped.
Yeah, and that is just a classic case of a hot white dude getting away with murder, literally, kind of.
You, Jessica Jones.
But I have seen movies based on serial killers before. Like I watched Dahmer a while back, like years ago. They did a really good job of not separating him from the acts that he did. I saw that. And it was probably the most uncomfortable movie I ever watched, but I went into it knowing that would happen and expecting that to happen, and I was glad that it did because that's how it should be. If these movies don't actually make people uncomfortable while they're watching them and they go home and they're like, "Oh, Charles Manson," we'd have to destroy the world now. Because people are already doing that with Ted Bundy, and it's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever read on the internet.
Yeah.
Anything that like romanticizes or makes it, anything that can be copycatted has to be approached so carefully. And the only reason I can see to make a picture like that is to illustrate the warning signs, maybe.
Yeah.
But just for entertainment value, like not behind it.
I will say, the last victim, I think, of Ted Bundy's, that actually got away. She said that she thinks that the movie might be very important for that, to watch out for the warning signs. But I don't know about this Charles Manson movie. I don't know.
I'll have to watch the trailer for that later because I'm curious.
You and I share that fascination, though. The psychological aspects of what it does is really interesting, and it's something to look out for. But I also know that I'm not going to become violent from researching it. I'm concerned about others.
I will say, if you are fascinated with the psychology behind serial killers and you want to watch something about serial killers that handles the subject, I think, very responsibly, watch Mindhunters.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a Netflix show, Jonathan Groff. It's got, I don't remember his name. The guy that plays Ed Kemper is ridiculously talented, and it explores the subject, I think, in a very responsible manner.
Well, Ed Kemper was weirdly responsible about stuff. Yeah. But yeah, the actor who plays him nails.
I have to catch after Umbrella Academy, which I found.
He's in Umbrella Academy. He's the one. He's the other cop with Mary J. Blige. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the same
I'm not
actor.
that far yet, so.
No, you've seen it. It's first episode.
Oh.
The real big guy.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Hanging out with Mary J. Blige. Yeah.
That's the dude that played Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta watch both of them. So.
Yeah.
I would say
Umbrella
straight-up
Academy's
documentaries are compelling and interesting to watch. I guess I'm not too much into the fictional aspect that they can sometimes add to further glamorize someone in these biopics. But I do find it interesting when you have a man committing crimes when they were in his time. When they were committed, these federal agencies and local authorities weren't, in Bundy's time is what I'm referring to, that they weren't communicating well, that they didn't share information. So some of the things that prevent authorities from finding these people and solving these crimes, I find interesting, that they couldn't probably get away with today, obviously, with all the cameras and everything that we have now and the way authorities work together. But, yeah, I guess I tend to not gravitate towards projects like these, but documentaries I do find interesting.
Documentaries, I think, are very, very different.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to when I opened up the show. Well, opened up the news with who the fuck keeps letting R. Kelly out of jail? Anyway. See,
You get one.
I got one. I'm gonna take my.
You
one
took the
too.
show's one. I
Why
hope you're
does
happy.
He always get it.
Because he says it
Because I'm
first, and he's
being
greedy.
sweet.
You're greedy.
But also, I wasn't going
That's one
to.
of my
wasn't
favorite
going
ones.
to.
Anyway, Bryce, can you make me happy after this movie that I'm probably just not?
That's another great segue, Jason.
I'm just not.
Can I make you happy? It's a very very generic question. I'm
Can
not
you
sure how I'm going to do
tenderize
that.
Jerky.
Jerky.
Can you
I
tenderize
mean,
some jerky for us?
I guess that's not an unrealistic expectation.
Oh God.
If I owed somebody a favor, but I don't think I owe you that kind of favor, so that's just a weird request.
What's your story?
Yeah, just go to the story.
Oh,
your story?
This is ruined. Go to the story.
The look of horror on your face.
No, thank you.
What's the story?
I don't go skating. I don't go skating because it's not good for the ankles. You know,
Yeah,
Adrian,
bum rock.
you know. But
You get
there is
punched
this
in the
documentary.
face.
It's called In Search of Darkness. What?
Nothing. Go. Search of Darkness.
You're a
Search
bum
of
rock.
Darkness.
Yeah, In Search of Darkness. This is an 80s documentary, supposed to be the definitive documentary that's going to be coming out soon. There's an Indiegogo campaign that you can support this project. It's made by fans, for fans, and it is being, you know,
Crowdfunded.
thank you, crowdfunded by fans. So thank you for filling in that gap that my brain could not
It's a
figure it
hard
out.
word sometimes.
Yeah. So the documentary is going to have a lot of horror luminaries. Stuart Gordon. It's going to have Barbara Crampton, Jeffrey Combs. A lot of people that have been heavily involved in the industry are going to be contributing stories and anecdotes. So I'm looking forward to this. And, you know, if you want to contribute to the Indiegogo campaign, you can spend about $1,326, if memory serves, if you want to be a producer on the show. Or you can contribute a lot less, just so you know. But that's out there.
Anybody got $1,000 in there?
Yeah. I'm going to spend that $1,000 on cosplay instead. That's where I'm going to throw my money.
Yeah.
But
See, that's what a segue would look like.
yeah. But that
Or it
show,
sounds like.
right? But that show looks really interesting. There is a trailer for it on YouTube, and I saw a small segment of Barbara Crampton, an excerpt from her interview. I think it's going to be interesting because I don't know how you do a comprehensive 80s horror documentary, the iconic. There's so many good films, so many good actors, but they're going to try.
Yeah, 80s horror was kind of all over the place, but also, I mean, it's
Some of the best
a
stuff
lot
out
of-
there.
Yeah.
It moves in a very, like, directional line, though. And
Yeah.
from just, like, kind of psycho-ish, but mostly slasher, then it starts getting more and more, like, technological in the movement of where society was through the 80s. I would love to tell that story, and if not, watch someone else tell that story.
Yeah, well, Peter Jackson's movies, John Carpenter's. There's a wide range of sci-fi and blood-filled movies.
Friday the 13th,
Bloodbath.
Nightmare on Elm Street, some of the best
Oh, there's
stuff out
great
there.
stuff out there.
Alien came out in the 80s. Didn't it?
Yes.
I would love to see if they got into the nitty-gritty, like when they started using fire extinguishers for blood pumps and stuff like that. Like, that's what I would want to see.
Yeah, I'm
Also,
hoping they have some great
maybe
stories like that.
My
And it was
favorite
just-
horror, one of my favorite horror franchises was mostly in the 80s. Evil Dead. I love.
It's not a great
It's not
horror
because they're
franchise.
good movies, but it is amazing.
No,
Well-
Evil Dead is a perfect summation of 80s horror in
is.
that it's all over the place
It is.
itself.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
what is it's demon or hell or ancient or because of a book or language or skeleton armies.
This
or...
shot looks cool.
Also, there's a tree face. Don't worry about it.
Also, there's Three Stooges antics.
It really
Very
is.
much so.
Very much
Especially
so.
in the second one.
Plus, you get to ride the little red wagon and go. Who doesn't want to
my
do
God.
that?
Joe Dante, I've neglected to mention, he's going to be part of it, and he did The
Really?
Gremlins and a couple other films that were really good. So, yeah, it should be good.
Did Chucky start in the 80s or was it the 90s?
Child's Play? That was 90s. Child's Play was
90s.
90s. Yeah.
What about the one and only Leprechaun? Was that the 80s? I feel
I think
that
that's
was early
right.
90s.
I feel like that's right on the edge.
We don't have a
We'd have to
lot
look
of
into it.
Irish representation.
You
We
know,
need to
speaking
appreciate
of
these.
leprechauns, I'm going to throw in a plug
Go.
because I can. Dark Hour in Plano will be doing their St. Patty's Sleigh weekend this St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Dope.
where you can, be killed by evil leprechauns.
They were all evil. Spoilers.
And
Well, yeah.
what kind, which depiction?
Like, think the first movie of Leprechaun, the one and only Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Think those kind of leprechauns and evil fae, and you have our house.
Evil phase.
I just can't be scared of something that I can
Evil phase redundant.
run faster than and also could probably just kill with a
I don't think you
lawnmower.
can run faster than me.
Than a leprechaun?
Leprechauns are the zombie. Is a zombie thing.
Yeah,
Kind
run
of.
it over
They
with a
will.
lawnmower.
They overwhelm you. And
Yeah.
they can hide.
That's what the lawnmower for.
Lawnmowers can only help you so much, my dude.
Well, we'll test that.
These
theory.
aren't the Travelocity garden gnome. It's a leprechaun. It's two different
They're
things.
not that tiny. They're smaller than people, but
And they're
yeah.
smarter
And
than
I think
you
it'll be
are.
funny to
That's
run
the
on them.
whole
They
thing.
also they also have access to something called magic.
Oh, are they doing
I have
puka?
access.
Huh?
Are they doing puka?
They might. I actually don't remember all of the characters. I do know that we have leprechauns and we have various fae.
Do you have Selkies?
Probably.
They're not usually
Selkie,
evil,
they're not,
but
yeah.
they can be.
Run around with fur coats going.
I have
They
access
don't have
to
to
a
be
John
fur.
Deere.
They can be seals. They're seals.
A John Deere. with
You
a
will-
little
the-
cup of
You're like,
The
ice.
best
"Everybody
way-
Take a Selkie.
The best. Oh my god. The best way for you to find out would be to come to the haunt.
Oh,
Patty's
dark
Day.
hour.
This St. Patty's sleigh weekend.
Nice.
Yay. Okay, I'm done now.
Cass was
No, you're not
way
done yet.
too
You're not
good.
done yet.
I'm not?
Well, right, so you got
Yeah.
My transitions have sucked this evening.
Alright, so I guess it's my turn now.
I guess I shouldn't make my Selkie steak joke then.
Oh.
Did you say poop cup?
Anyways, bringing out some more good news. We got an official trailer for Good Omens this past week.
Yeah.
Well, within the past 2 weeks. I mean, we were out for a lot last week, so, good enough. But we got an official release trailer that had more than just Aziraphale and Crowley, which, yes. We got to meet the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, we got to meet the Antichrist, and we got to hear some of the other demons and some of the other angels talk. So,
okay.
and it's looking so good. It's looking like a beautiful, beautiful love letter to both Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and I am so excited for this. It's going to be on Amazon Prime coming up in April?
I think, yeah.
I think late April.
Yeah, like late April. I can't remember the date. They do have a release date. I'm just didn't research that again, but yes. It will be coming out. I with every shot they come out of Aziraphale and Crowley, I fall deeper and deeper into love with this series, and I haven't even watched it yet. The book is one of my favorite books. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It doesn't look like much is going to be spoiled for you. It looks like they're taking a little bit of direction, like artistic liberty with it, since it is a new medium that's not a book. Oh, you also got to meet Agatha, the witch. Can't forget. Or not Agatha, Agnes, the witch. Can't forget her.
May 31st.
May 31st.
Oh, it's
got it.
longer than I thought.
I can wait.
Neil Gaiman is busy.
I don't think he knows how to stop. Neither he nor his wife know
He
what
is
the word
fine
stop
what
means.
he's doing.
Yeah,
He's
nobody
fine with
tell
it.
him how to stop, please.
No.
Yeah, no. Alright. And I'm excited. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cora. Have you checked that? Are you ready for Gods and Monsters or American Gods?
It
I knew I would get
premiered
that
on
reaction.
Sunday.
The
I knew I would get that
premiere,
re-
yeah.
It premiered on Sunday.
She hasn't seen it yet.
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Crap.
It had one amazing scene, and the rest of it was pretty good.
Which one?
Awesome.
Well, to move on with the show. Also, quick thoughts though. This morning we were treated to the Avengers Endgame trailer. We're getting one more. We are 42 days away. Quick thoughts. What did y'all think of it, Kat?
I can't believe they did that color.
The what?
The color, the specific, like, black and white color splash
Oh, with the
technique
red-
on it.
Very Sin City.
Yeah.
I wasn't with it.
It's very 2011 Instagram. Like, they did it better than 2011 Instagram did. No, it looks, I don't even know why they're putting out trailers. Obviously, we're gonna go see it. So, like,
I didn't need another trailer, but I'm like, all right.
I don't think it moved the needle for me a lot because I was already excited about it.
I like seeing Rocket in an actual Guardians of the Galaxy costume.
I did
With
like the
red shirt.
costume. The uniform reveal was pretty good.
A friend of mine said if him and Rhodey are hanging out, I want them to be called Roadkill.
Ha
Nice.
I was like, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
What'd you think, guys?
All hail the sad Mohawk.
Sure.
I think it's funny that 2/3 of the trailer was not new footage.
Let's not talk about percentages. They have to find 50% of the population. So what's 2/3 of 50%?
Someone should just explain, getting goods to places for Thanos.
Or
I think,
six, that
I think
can't
we
be
could have
right.
talked about it this whole thing. Like, let's talk about supply chains instead of
I
just
mean,
wiping
everyone
everyone
has
out.
enough potatoes.
There you go.
And we're back to Irish.
Hey-o.
Bryce, you?
I was sort of not really impressed with the trailer for the same reason as Kat was for some reason. But I am excited for the film. I did want to see more of Paul Rudd. I don't know why. I just want to see more of his character. I think he's really great, but I love the idea that the group, whatever is left, is banding together, and they have new costumes.
Yeah, they got even Rhodey did his armor in the colors, which I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. I think you're just gonna stretch the shirt over his suit.
I mean, they a little bit look like Cybermen from 1960s Doctor Who, but
Yeah, I'm not really getting the get-up yet, but
Ant-Man is such a different rhythm than everyone else that it's really entertaining. Also,
Yep.
you're the Ant-Man of the show. So,
meaning my rhythm and vibe just don't
you're wearing
match.
they don't match,
group.
but they coordinate. I think you make our show better, but you're a different rhythm.
real weird.
I asked
Yeah,
for an
you're
insult
real
and got a
weird,
Real
compliment.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a weirdo, Bryce.
Cora, thoughts on Avengers Endgame?
We like it so
My
much.
baby was in the trailer. He was in most of it. I'm so happy.
They heard her, please.
You don't know how much I was squealing. Every time he was on the screen, I was like, he's here, he's here. But also him, the shot of him shooting with his daughter,
Kate Bishop.
maybe. It's not
Potentially Kate.
potentially. It's not confirmed, but you better believe that if it's confirmed in here that her name is Kate or Katie, that I'm gonna lose my ever-loving mind in the theater, and I will probably be asked to leave because I'll see it at Alamo and I can't
That's
yell.
what I'm saying. We don't know her.
Are you gonna lean into the constantly getting mistaken for a 12-year-old girl thing and just cosplay her?
Yes, actually, I really want to cosplay Kate Bishop so bad.
Well, cosplay goals. And with that, we want to talk about some of those cosplay goals.
What do you
So, what?
Thank you.
What that was?
She helped you.
Thank
That's
you.
how you
That
do
was
the
a segue.
Yay! So that's how segues work. Amazing.
So what we're talking
You're
about
1 for
cosplays,
5.
the costumes and the props that we're going to kill our co-host with. I just wanted to
Do it.
Ooh, I'm a co-host.
Uh,
I can't.
I need healing.
I love this.
healing.
I'm willing.
I need healing.
I'm willing to get the costume just to go with this prop.
You have to have a $1.99 over your head. I need healing. I need healing.
You need healing.
Oh, just chase Mercy and Lucio cosplayers around the con. I need.
No, you have to run the other way and then say I need healing.
Good point. Good point.
That
You
should
dodged 4 of my orbs.
Oh.
Stop saying you need healing.
That's not how orbs work.
So, like we talked about last show, con season is up, and as cosplayers, the crunch is on. A lot of us, we have set goals for costumes that we want to come out with and debut at these shows we're going to be going to. And we're going to talk about some of those and some of the process we're going to. But, Kat, this is your show from this point on.
Yay! What time is
Have
it?
at it, Hoss.
8:45.
As much time as you
Mark
need.
it at 8:45. The show just took off. No, I just wanted to.
Is that rude?
No.
It
Yes, accurate.
My feelings.
No, I just kind of wanted to see what cosplays people were working on, where they're in the process, what they're excited about, what they're doing next. 8:45, 8:46. Jason's off the show. It's my show now.
Anyways,
let's start with. Well, why don't we start with Cora? What's your next cosplay?
What you working on?
Or having commissioned, or touching up to redo?
I have two that are currently in the works. I'm doing Kojaku from Dramatical Murder with some friends of mine because he's the pretty one and I like him.
But will you be able to do a gender bend?
I bet no, there will be no gender bending. I'm going to get an open binder, or I'm going to get a binder that is flesh tone and color it a little bit so I can have the open chest.
Nice.
I'm not making an open chest because I don't want to buy that much latex. And I don't want to learn how to sew that with spandex. That's not a good first project. But I do have his kimono piece. And I'm just going to put that on now because I'm cold.
That window is open over there. I'm sorry.
That's why it keeps just getting cold for no reason. But no, I found this from another cosplayer. He was selling some stuff. And he found it online somewhere. But it's
very nice.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, I love this thing. I just wear it around the apartment, honestly.
Did you find it on like a Facebook group or like a...
No, he's a cosplayer that I follow on Instagram, Hawkward Cosplay.
Hawkward?
Hawkward, because
Awesome.
he cosplays Hawk from Dragon Age. There we go.
Yes.
So we get in.
Oh, we'll get
It
into
was
that.
our first guess.
We'll get into that later. But no,
I'm sure we will.
Oh, we will. But no, other than him, I'm working on Sypha from Castlevania.
Yay.
From the Netflix Castlevania.
Yay. I'm so happy about that one.
I'm currently waiting for the costume to come in. I commissioned it from Songbird Cosplay on Etsy. So once that gets in, there'll be pictures all over my Instagram because her work is really, really nice. I'm also waiting for the wig that I want to use as the base to come off of back order in the color that I need.
Oh.
But that's all that I'm currently working on right now. I have two that I have planned, but we'll get to the planned ones later.
Yeah. That's awesome. Bryce, what about you?
Yeah, can you come back to me? Because I'm
Yeah,
trying to...
Jason.
Sorry.
I have been like, I slow work all my cosplays because I'm lazy and I like playing video games. And also have to do stuff for this show. But I am finally making some progress on my McCree cosplay. I always do better with props. Like when I
McCree? What's he from?
He's from a little game called Overwatch. You may have heard of it.
Maybe.
But I always do well on props. Like I did like make my Strider costume from Capcom vs. Marvel. I made that straight from scratch. Like everything was done, like sewing and cutting fabric. But I made a sword first. I always do well with my props, which is why I have this gun that I've had for a year, and yet I don't have a holster. But I do best with my props because I can't sew for crap. I mostly commission things or try to find other clothing that I can transform into that. Like Snake Eyes is just old military gear of mine that I just happen to have laying around. I molded the visor though.
Yeah.
The other stuff is like prop weaponry and whatnot. But I'm working on McCree. I did commission the chest piece because it's a little bit out of my, and I want it to look good. So
Armor is hard.
and it lights up. So
nice.
And luckily, a friend of mine actually messaged me a couple of days ago. The whole reason I'm commissioning the chest piece because he messaged me and said, "When are you getting done with that cosplay?" I was like, "I'm working on it." He's like, "You can't build armor for crap." He's like, "Send me the measurements on your left arm. Don't ask why." So
He's gonna have his mechanical
Wow.
arm.
he was like, measure up. He was like, measure above your elbow, around the medius part of your forearm and your wrist, and what size glove do you wear? I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" He's like, "Just do it and shut up." And that's the last I saw. Oh, well, that's the last I heard.
So was it the meatiest part before or after your jerky got tenderized?
Definitely afterwards.
It's
Anyway,
a deep cut. You're welcome.
the
Oh.
only other one I want to do this summer and debut, and it's funny because she has a kimono. I want to do Samurai Jack
That would be fun.
because Samurai Jack is one of my favorite characters. I think there's a con that Phil Lamar is actually coming to in the area, so I think it's either at Fan Expo or A-Con this year. I think it's Fan
I
Expo,
want to say Fan Expo.
but I just want to go up there and just hear him. They call me Jack, but I do have the
Forget
shoes
that.
all ready for. Huh?
Forget that he was.
Yes,
I
he
was
was
thinking.
Jack.
I always think of him as Jon Stewart.
Well, I mean, he's everybody. He's so many things.
Yeah.
But I would love to get Samurai, even though it's an easy cosplay to do. The top knot it's finding a kimono that looks like Jax is the problem. I even have the sword already done and the shoes. So, I mean, I'm going to have definitely something underneath. I ain't doing the Jack thing underneath, but, you know.
Hospital gown kimono.
No, Jack wore like those bandage underwear things.
Oh,
And, yeah, I'm not doing
yeah.
it. Like this, what sumo wrestlers wore, which I don't know how historically accurate that was, but hey, you know.
I mean, just get you like 4 ace bandages.
Don't use
I'm
ace
not doing that.
bandages in lieu of any kind of underwear. It's dangerous.
I'm also back in the gym so I can like get in cos shape. But anyway, the only other one I want to redo is my Chris Redfield because his look is adapted more from Resident Evil 2, which is what mine is based around. So I want to do something newer with that because it's not going to change a lot, but you know, I want to change it up.
Yeah, it's always fun to change when I always intend to like update and modify my cosplays. Very
That's
rarely
what
do.
you're doing, though.
Sort of.
I think I think it'd be cool for us to all walk around in Overwatch cosplays. By the way.
Yes.
So we need to convince Core to do a character, and we need to convince Bryce to be Genji.
Hanzo, do Hanzo.
I want to do Hanzo
Yes!
so bad.
Yes, do Hanzo.
I would be.
No, we should get Bryce to do Zarya. She's a Russian powerlifter.
If I had more
Ooh.
muscles, I would definitely do Zarya because, well, actually, I don't.
hair.
I used to have pink hair.
Yeah, I
Pink
know.
hair?
I
Do you
have
like
some
pink
of your
hair?
old pink hair dye.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
It's funny because
He's gonna do Zarya.
well, it is funny
Should
because my
do
friend said, "I want you to
Diva.
finish McCree."
Whichever.
That'd be cute.
I don't
He
know.
said, "I want you to finish McCree so you can slowly work on a Batiste costume now."
Don't do Batiste.
Why?
I don't tend to do like characters just personally of color, and the reason is I want anyone who's thinking about becoming a cosplayer to see a gap and be like, I should cosplay because I could help fill that gap. That's just my current philosophy on it.
I mean, I am
But-
of color, so you know I'm good.
Oh, I thought you meant him do Batiste.
No, I meant me. My friend,
Oh.
No, my buddy said, "I want you to finish McCree so you can slowly work on a Batiste costume that'll be done
Oh
in
yes,
2 years."
please do that.
I just think Batista's shady.
He is.
What?
Batista's shady.
He's Talon. Like he's cool though.
He's-
So
No,
do
no, he
him.
was at one point.
He's a bad guy.
Probably.
Probably.
We'll see.
Bad guy.
Anyway,
No, I want you to do, especially since you're back, like getting gains and stuff. You could do
yeah.
an awesome Batiste.
I'm hoping. I'm. That's another problem. Like cosplay, like I gotta fit. Like I can't do something stupid this weekend because I can't fit into the costume. But I'm gonna pass that off. So.
Was it your bunny hutch?
Oh yeah, I can't do it. Anyway. Who's next?
Cass, what are you working on?
Wow.
I am working on a girl, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, a game that came out a couple years ago. I absolutely fell in love with this character. Also, she's a ginger, and
That's not.
It's
bad
also a
fit.
damn
You
good
don't have to
game.
whisper.
I hate wigs so
She's
much.
a ginger.
She's a ginger.
That's it, Paula Dean.
That's
voice.
a lot of work you're gonna have to do in that wig.
I'm not wearing a wig.
Rude.
Not for Aloy.
Really?
She's a ginger.
Yeah, but she got like all kinds of braids and stuff and like.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
gonna do that with my hair.
Can you learn how to braid? Wait, she can braid. It's not hard. So maybe don't wear a wig then. You're already
I just have my hair.
ginger.
Wow. Yeah, I have been working on her for several months. Kind of the way that I cosplay, because I tend to be living that broke artist life, is
Follow.
I will buy the materials for one part of the cosplay. So these are
From the chat, you can do it.
these are her skirts. She wears 5 of these kind of around her, and then she has these kind of brown
Ooh.
leggings underneath them. So I did these several months ago. They have stitching, they're top stitched, all kinds of stuff, and they fold over. That I did several months ago, and this I just started. This is her vest. Yeah.
That was good.
It's she's got a shirt that goes underneath it, but I sewed it and then I top stitched it. But this is the only thing I bought that day because this is fairly expensive material. This is suede, so it's really nice, but it's really expensive. So I'm hoping to have her done by May. I already have her skirt, her leggings. I'm making her vest. I have some of her beads that are around her neck. I still need to make her kind of undershirts and her boots. Her boots are really complicated. They have like 3 or 4 layers, one of which is fur, and then they have like a net around them, and then they have several other things. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm curious what you're gonna do about, because like I brought up props, the bows.
The bow. The bow. I should say, I am not a props person. I am not good at making props.
You live with somebody who's outstanding at it.
I am the sewing person, and so I'm going to very calmly and nicely ask Kat to help me. But I'm trying to make it out of wood. I have a regular bow, and basically I'm trying to build off of that. But Kat is helping me out with that. And luckily for me, Kat just bought a jigsaw.
Kat bought a jigsaw
Kat
this
bought a
week.
jigsaw.
She was inordinately excited, talking about herself in the third person. A jigsaw, a real power tool.
Wow.
I'm so happy. It just cuts right through wood. It's incredible.
It's almost like that's what it's for.
Like, I started shaping the handle to this gun blade. You won't be able to see it super well. But, like, this is a commission I'm working on. Started shaping it out with my new jigsaw. And then
Nicely
I'm going to
done.
Dremel it down. Thank you.
I just
That's
realized I
awesome.
left
And
the
for
tape on. I
reference,
actually
here's what
don't
it will.
glue on this
Here's
one.
what it should look like, and what it
Here's
will
what it should
look.
look like.
What it should look like, and what it will look like when it is finished.
I just want nobody to see what it will look like.
Oh well, too bad.
Just can you find a really crappy cosplay of a gunblade and be like, and this is what it looks like at its best. That way, when I finish mine, they'll be like, wow, this looks at least as good as that crappy picture.
Can we just duct tape Cloud's sword to McCree's gun? And just say that's what it looks like?
No!
Is that not what I feel like that's what a gunblade is.
It's one or the other, okay?
So wait. Does that mean?
We are
Does
not
that
at
mean?
Final Monday.
Does that mean that the gunblade came from the thought of taking Vincent's weapon from 7 and Cloud's weapon from 7 and just melding them together? Because this was in Final Fantasy VIII and they're from Final Fantasy VII, so that's what they like. Let's take the 2 best characters, because let's be honest.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we want to get into why
this what a migraine
gunblade is
feels like?
stupid?
No,
It
we
is.
don't.
like it was
It's
a-
dumb as hell.
It's like a DC thing where somebody thought of the idea at 4 a.m. and nobody said no, so they put it in the game the next day and never looked back.
It's like people in the movies
Like-
that hold their guns sideways. Like, oh.
Kill shot.
No, but it's cool. It's gonna be very sturdy. I think it's a stupid weapon, but it is a fun design.
It's
so.
really cool.
Oh,
What?
it looks cool as hell. It does.
What else are you working on, Kat?
So the other thing I'm working on is if you have seen me at a con, you've probably seen me cosplay Junkrat. It is the most fun I've ever had cosplaying a particular character. Usually hanging out with my buddy Roadhog.
Scared the living daylights out of me.
Or
Yeah.
the voice actor of Roadhog.
And Junkrat. We've both met the voice actors for our characters while dressed as them, which is a little terrifying. Anyway, Dallas Fuel. I don't know if you know anything about Overwatch League or me, but if you know anything about me, you know that I love Overwatch League. It's an esport based on Overwatch. They're coming to Dallas. And guess who might make a fool out of themselves cosplaying in the Dallas Fuel skin?
Is it gonna be you, Rat?
I can't do the voice right now.
Oh, you can't do the voice? That was actually good. I need to
It
look
wasn't.
Anyway,
Need to work
working on Junkrat. There's 2
Hold it a
things.
little bit further, Terry.
Money.
That's going to be awesome.
Boom.
What's the last thing that you did?
The last thing I did, I've been working on this bag. It's functional. It hangs from a strap on its side.
I
It's made
admire
out
the
of
functionality
vinyl.
of your Junkrat tire.
Oh yeah, I am recovering the spikes for the Junkrat tire.
Do the voice. From the chat, they like do the voice.
I can't think of any
Money
of his
explosives.
lines. Money and explosives.
Pretty good.
Need to work on my Australian. But yeah, the tire backpack.
Fire in the hole! I can't do without you.
Anyway,
Fire in the hole! is functional. The spikes go into it. There's a little Velcro hubcap, which this is going to replace the old one for the purposes of this skin. And yeah, it was just a chance to kind of go back and redo some props I've done before and see if I could make them look better.
So there's always room for improvement.
So far, so good.
The grenades look amazing.
Thank you.
They're
The grenades
rusted
are
out.
hard to do. A lot of airbrushing. They're foam. They're toilet paper holders filled with foam, covered with
And
foam.
do toilet paper rolls?
That's impressive.
Yeah, but they're filled with foam, so they have some sturdiness to them. And then capped off with more foam. I'm most comfortable with EVA. Foam.
It's a lot of bathroom visits to get that many toilet paper rolls.
I was asking people to keep
When you're
theirs.
done with your toilet.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you kind of have to explain. Like,
Yeah,
why do you want my toilet
You
paper?
could have just done a paper towel roll and cut it up.
I thought about that, but these are already like the right length, and anything that I can screw up measuring, I will. So it seemed better to have a standardized length for
Do you
them.
need the whole team to save for you currently?
I don't think I'm planning on doing any more
I'm waiting
Junkrat
for the
skins.
weirdest request that's going to come in through our chat. Everybody save every chicken bone that you get.
How do you pattern your stuff?
There are several really good cosplayers that teach different things. This one, a lot of it a hand sketch, actually. There's a cosplayer named Zanzan Zombie out of Austin.
Oh yeah, she's an Austin.
That did Junkrat, and she did a really good Junkrat, and I took some of her techniques and I adjusted them a little.
She's got a great YouTube channel. I follow her Instagram.
She's
I did not know she
really
was
good.
Austin though.
Yeah.
All right.
I just know that because she mentioned it when she did the Junkrat shoot, and of course I watched every video she did on Junkrat. A lot of it's loosely based on that, but I don't think her tire functions as a backpack, so everything about my
you're
Junkrat
gonna
one
have
makes
better
me
than
happy. It doesn't look better, but it functions better. Like, my canteen is usable and usually filled with Red Bull. The bag can actually hold cosmetics. It's nice. I like it.
We just need to go cosplay and do weird things. Like, well, not weird things, totally normal things.
Nope, weird things. He should do Mercy.
Mercy would be amazing.
Well, when we all dressed up together and went to, what was it, Fan Expo about a year ago? That was great, because the two of them together cosplaying over, it's fantastic.
Incidentally, if you, I don't know if you said, I cosplay Roadhog.
I did say that.
Okay.
Yes, she does the Roadhog. She does very, very well, and she's often quite quiet as Roadhog
He doesn't talk very much.
because he doesn't talk very much. But
and
we
I
like
can do
it.
the voice.
We rode the train as when I was.
What's the one? The one. Yeah.
That's the only thing I can do.
We rode the dart rail while I was dressed as Snake Eyes one time, and it was awesome. Like, people were like purposefully, like, they would take one look and go nope, and just like walk past me. And one lady was staring, and I just kind of went like turned towards her real quick, and she just kind of. Oh. The best one was Cora and I. She was dressed as Phoenix Wright, and I was dressed as Chris Redfield. And we walked into a McDonald's, and they thought I was like a cop.
Not only did they think that you were a cop, they asked me how I got my hair like that. And
Yes!
I told them it was craft foam and bathroom caulk, and they started freaking out because they thought it was my real hair.
Yeah, her Phoenix Wright.
It looks like a
really-
helmet, but they thought it was my
It's
real
not as damn
hair.
hard as a helmet.
It is it's waterproof bathroom caulk, so it can withstand the rain.
Nice.
That
stuff
thing will
is-
protect her in a crash, I swear.
Yeah.
That stuff is really good. Like, latex caulking for foam is amazing.
Yeah, we took my friend and I took craft foam to make the shape of the spikes.
Yeah.
And then we got just extensions in black and put them over it. And instead of using like glue or something, we just used the bathroom caulk on top of it. So we could also, because once it started, at a certain point when it started drying, you could mold it and it would stay. So we made the ridges in it
Nice.
and everything. So it's permanently like that. I've had it at the bottom of a box like for a year, and then I took it out, and it still had it, like, it looked warped. I put it on my head, it was still completely like it was when we first made it.
Aren't you doing some effects for your cypher that's on the way? Aren't you going to do like an ice and a fire thing we were talking about?
Yes, I'm going to be working with Xander of Nerdy Notions, and he's going to help me 3D print some clear magic effects, and I'm going to put some LED lights in them so that I can have magic effects for her, like her her magic spell that she has with this, and some of her fire spells.
Are you gonna use that? There's something that TNT sells that's like clear for LED lights. It's like Centra, but it's clear so you can see through it. It's
Maybe.
supposed to be good for magic. LEDs under
You're not going
it.
to do like a translucent... Well, I thought you'd do like a translucent plastic. And
That's what it is.
Yeah,
you can
I'll look
print.
into it. I didn't know about that, so I'm gonna look into that actually, because if I can make it myself, that'd be even cooler.
I was just
So I'd
looking
like
at
to.
TNT Cosplay, of course, in Irving.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
really lucky to have them like local.
Cass and I are trying to get out there because I need a bunch of their. They have EVA foam that isn't textured on one side, like the EVA you pick up at Lowe's or Home Depot. Or
And they
No,
sell
I
it
know-
in large sheets and in different
Yeah.
sizes.
I know the owner.
and
so-
densities.
Yes.
So yeah, I was trolling just through all of their supplies the other day, and I saw that clear plastic, and I was like, I might need that for an upcoming cosplay. Bryce, what about you?
What you doing?
Bryce came like prepared. He's already got one done.
I'm going to be cosplaying as a gentleman caller.
Weird.
Weird.
Mildly
What is
crazy.
this big secret cosplay?
I can't tell you the secret, but I
Yes,
can
you
tell
can.
you, not tonight, but I can tell you that I am commissioning one. The team knows that I'm doing that, so I'm not much of a seamstress. I'm not much of a 3D printer guy. I wish I was all these things and more, but the only thing I've ever made was a duct tape suit for Superman's arch nemesis, Toyman.
Oh, God. That's...
And it was all duct tape. It was all pink and blue on the suit, and it was awesome. I had the glasses.
How long did it take you?
It took I don't know, maybe 12 hours or more
Of duct taping?
of duct taping a suit.
Yeah.
Having never done that before.
I haven't either. I was
Never
just
tried.
curious.
Rolls.
Too many?
Making that suit cost a lot of money because duct tape isn't cheap, and it was, and I had to, there were mistakes made. So I don't know how many rolls it
That's
was.
weird.
You made mistakes in your cosplay? That's weird.
Yeah, no shit, right?
I probably used 6 or 7. It was a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Well, there were 2 different colors, so I was probably 8 or 9. Anyway, so I did the pants, I did the jacket, and I had a great time doing that. And then I used a slingshot as a prop, which I didn't make, but I borrowed from a friend. Now I've done another cosplay that I created on my own, but again, like Jason, just kind of throwing things together and doing some. I guess I can pick some things up, off of the internet, and I can take something out of my closet and make it work. I've done that for Star Trek, but I believe you have a picture.
Okay, I was about to ask, is it this picture?
Maybe I should bring this cosplay back. It's the most handsome photographer you've ever seen on this planet. It's truly amazing what this individual can do, and there's no one that won't smile for him. No one. No one.
I guess I'm behind.
What
Oh
is
my goodness.
That's an actual photo, not photoshopped, of moi.
Bryce, is that a mullet?
That is a mullet.
Okay.
That is a mullet, and I'm wearing a fish tie. So that I can do. I can do.
Oh, I've already spoken on this tie. Here, this.
So when you take a picture with that, does it go?
Yes. Yes. Blinding.
It's not the Old West. There's not smoke that comes out.
No.
It should.
He
It should.
puts his head under the cover and he's like, "Now smile, everybody."
No. You can't mess with the hair. The hair's got to stay out of the cover.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's,
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. So
Flash powder.
yeah. So aside from those, I am working on another one that's simple that I forgot to mention to you earlier in the pre-show, but there's really not much to it, but it's one I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. But the one that I'm commissioning that I'm hoping to use in May is expensive, and I've never spent that much money on a cosplay, so I'm really looking forward to that. And the most expensive thing is the boots. It's not cheap.
Shoes, dude. Like, no matter
There's
how
really
you
no way
get
around
them.
that.
Nope.
I
not.
I think I've gone to a thrift store or modified my own shoes because
I mean, I have too, but even then, like, they were still the most
making
expensive.
shoes, it's just
I wouldn't know how to begin,
Like,
how to do that.
Me neither.
I bought boots today that are going to be used for Mercury cosplay, but also worn as boots. So
I want to learn how to make like boot covers. That
I know
seems
how to.
like-
I know how to make boot covers.
She does.
Cora's gonna teach all of us how to make boot covers.
I can make them
We
as
can combine
long as
our
they're out of
powers.
spandex.
I mean, how do you think either one of our cosplays ever gets done?
I'll make props. Like my Strider sword's over there in the closets.
Yeah, it's nice to have a teammate because Cass can sew things, and everything I've sewn so far has turned out awful.
I should ask her to fix something for me. Anyway, okay.
She's available for hire.
I'll talk to you as soon as the cameras are off and no one can see.
$20
And
an
no one can
hour,
see
and
my
it will
shame.
take twice as long as it really should.
And I will pay you. So anyway,
Oh, you know, since everyone else got to talk about their
Yes, do it.
cosplans,
Yes.
and I can't go one show without not talking about Suikoden.
what's that?
What is that? Have you ever mentioned that before?
I don't think I ever have actually.
Okay. It's a video game, right?
You know, you might.
You're
have
like, it's a lifestyle.
It kind of is. No, I want to do 2 of the main characters from the series. The first main character, or one, bleh. The main character from the first game and the main character from the more recent game, because they're both again very pretty, and also technically I can reuse one for the other, because they're in the game, in the 5th game, the one that the beautiful Silverhead boy is from, he dresses up like the other one to walk
Nice.
to walk around as like a commoner to hide because he's a prince, and it was like a throw to the original game.
So some design aspects would work for both.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he spent the whole, like, if you talk to people, they're like, your clothing is hideous. I'm like, okay, this is great.
Like, wow, rude.
Yeah, but I like both of their designs a lot, and both of them use either some kind of bow staff, which I think is just wonderful. So,
That's awesome. Props are fun.
yes.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to help me with the one with the silver hair. You're gonna have to help me with that one.
Cass is also really good at wigs.
Oh yeah, I did her Junkrat wig.
And is going to do it again.
Hooray!
Yay.
Well, we've set some cos goals, so I think most of us are shooting for May.
Oh, mine are August, because I'm
Damn.
well, I can't cosplay really in August or in May or June.
Okay.
Because of the Nighthawk. I have to have specific stuff for that.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
Yeah, boob stuff.
Yeah. Which, actually, you know what?
No, she admits it.
Stuff.
No.
Oh, I
she-
admit it.
yes.
I admit it.
Weird way to put
I admit
that.
it.
No.
It's in the same
She
show
has beaten me over the head with this for
as
3 years.
Tenderizing your jerky. Like, we really could have done without one.
She has been she has
No.
been very explicit about what her required costume
Well,
for this booth
required. You know what? Required. That's loose. The booth
is. Your own
owner.
requirements.
Well, the booth owner has said, whatever you are comfortable with, and I don't mind showing these off. So I wear things that are extremely low cut, or I wear corsets so that they are up and out.
And you wear corsets.
I wear them. Actually, you know what? I could do a female Kojaku to do that.
Ooh, do it.
Like,
Do it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
The most messed up things, like the first year that I saw her work in the Nighthawk booth, I was turning the camera on, I'm getting lilos, and I pointed at her, and she was like, she goes like, ah, and then she goes like, boom, 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 boom. She just jumps up and down, and I'm like,
There's no way to
why
not
did you just
catch
do
that.
that?
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I saw it, like I was staring, but in a positive way.
Oh, I don't
Also,
mind.
I was like,
I don't
I'm
mind
never
if girls
gonna
I
make
was
stare.
like,
off of this.
wow.
This is gift material here. I don't know why she's like, ah. And then she just
You know what? To be honest, jiggling my boobs is fun.
It is. Like, it's a good feeling. Everyone can identify, I'm sure.
Well, we have set some cause goals, and we need to get them done. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it may take.
Whatever it takes.
And we have training to do in the gym.
I've been going, except for
Yes.
I'm glad for the night off. I've been beating the hell out of myself.
I went to the gym earlier today, and you and I need to get back into the gym every day
Ow,
so we can
I can't even do it.
so we can pummel the Oscar Mayer repeatedly.
Well, that's all the time we have.
And with that, everyone, thank you for joining us on this weird-ass show that we do. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you go over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/SCNS Live, and like our stuff over there. Pretty much all social media, SCNS Live. But if you want to follow us individually on our social media pages, you can follow me at Jason the X.
You follow me at BetterCat on Instagram, or you can follow Cass and I doing awful drawings of
Truly
Overwatch
I've
League
not followed this
broadcast
Twitter account
moments.
yet.
So
You know who has?
so it's Overwatch League broadcaster. It's Doa Drawings, DOA Drawings, and its namesake Doa
Followed the Twitter.
followed the Twitter, as did Monty. So we have a combined audience of like 400,000 people now that potentially see our terrible drawings. We've both
Sweet.
been retweeted and liked by these people with these over
I must see this
$250,000
now.
fans,
I
and
keep
they're
meaning to go
bad
back.
drawings.
Terrible drawing.
So happy that my artwork is out there, and Cass's as well.
It's truly terrible. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Cass_Bradley. That is KAS_Bradley. You can also find me on Now with Milk, which is my comedy YouTube channel that I share.
It's where
with,
she's funny.
Rude. That I share with a bunch of other people that I went to school with. Our Kickstarter is up for one more week. It's the Now with Milk Kickstarter. If you would like to donate, that would be amazing. That's it. That's my pitch.
You can find me on Facebook, Bryce Culver, and on Instagram, Bryce Culver. And I also have an Instagram toy page, which is called Trapdoor Toys.
Are you
Check it out.
posting on it?
Do you post?
I did post recently.
Good.
He's been better.
I need to
Get better.
I tried to look yesterday.
And the lady over there?
Oh, sorry. I was stretching and playing with my sleeves.
You can follow her at Korodono, Korodono, where she screams into the void about
No,
Suikoden.
that is not where I scream into the void about Suikoden. Oh no, you if you want to follow some of my artwork
half right.
and some of my photography stuff that I've started doing and cosplay stuff, you can find me at Korodono on Instagram. I've just recently posted some drawings that I did for a concert recently, and also some photos and videos from the concert. I'd be really appreciative if you checked those out. I worked hard on all of that. You can also find me on Twitter at Hawks Perch, and that's where I scream into the void about Suikoden, and sometimes the void screams back.
That's weird.
It's rare, but it happens. Please join me. I want more people to talk to about this. Please.
But also this weekend, you'll want to be following us on the Twitch and YouTube channels as we go into part 9 of our D&D campaign. As we have adventures at the where are we again?
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Yes, we are doing a murder mystery, and our DM has pretty much kind of stumped us on this one. So anyway,
Yeehaw
What
Ranch.
happened? What happened to the halfling girl? What happened to her?
With our new
it's
creepy
going to
cleric.
get ugly
Our
now.
terrifying cleric.
I cast inflict wounds on the
Marcus
boss.
Numenich.
So join us 2 p.m. Central Standard Time for some D&D action. There's
Or
tournaments
inaction,
going,
as we
and Bryce and I
want to
are
really
bringing
guess.
some alternate heads back as we talk about our plastic crack addiction.
You also be at AllCon, yes?
Yes.
All right.
Well,
Yes.
we'll be there. You know,
As
up
that
shortly.
photographer,
kind of casually
As the
vlogging.
photographer? As the photographer?
Not tonight. Or will I?
it's his own mystery. Dun, dun, dun.
And with that, we have reached the end of the show. Make sure you join us, like I said, Saturday, and of course next week when we return to do more of this. But as we always say around here,
Keep
on
on nerding.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Tenderize
Pummel
your
that
jerky.
Oscar Mayer. Pummel that Oscar Mayer. Your dad is watching.
Oh, that makes it
Oh,
worse.
deep cut.
All right, that is our show. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to check out the live video version of this, you can find it at YouTube and Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter, all at SCNS Live. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing week.